sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. This is Angelo Clary, and these are the days of our lives.
Tempers eventually cooled, and the Clarys say they actually developed a professional relationship with R.Kelly over the next few months, even pitching various business deals, all of which he rejected. All of which he rejected. All of which he rejected.
And this is when the takedown begins. He denied them.
Personal, extremely personal. Personal, extremely personal.
My daughter is, I have a lengthy background in the music industry as well. Probably since the age of about 5. She wound up going to a show with us to see R.Kelly. Actually, I was a fan. Wound up going to a show with us to see R.Kelly. Actually, I was a fan at that time. And she got pulled on stage. You know, the security or whoever his eye guys is, they come out and point out the young girls. So it was a real traumatizing situation that occurred a week before then. So it was kind of one of them situations where she wasn't even supposed to be there. So to get pulled on stage after that, and her whole background is music, it kind of made sense to us to say, okay, this may be the break we're looking for. It made sense to us to say, okay, this may be the break we're looking for. She have a large catalog in music, so it was nothing. She went in the back, got on stage, went in the back, sung for him, and then they gave him his number or something. He was excited that she could really sing and this and that. And about 20 minutes later, they emerged from the back because we couldn't see them. The way you get on the stage, you don't come off the same way. So they had to go in the back. 20 minutes, so we sitting there, me and her mom. Now we freaking out. We talking to security, asking them, hey, where they at? Where to locate our daughter. They said they'd come out the side. So when she came out the side, we walked over there, and then she came smiling, talking about she sung for him, and she got his number, and boom, boom, boom. So, me as a parent, I'm like, okay, you got his number, whatever. That's not a real number. You're a kid. Who would give a kid their number?
I had to jump in this real quick. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to them savages. Look how they looking at old Angelo. I'm kind of puzzled because, when he's on social media, he is the thuggish of the thuggish pappy all over social media. So, and this is the mainstream father right here, nervous and choking and coughing and head down and everything. But y'all pay attention to them savages. Look how they looking at him. Like, damn it, do what we rehearsed. Shit, y'all like you scared. Talk. Tell him what we talked about. Because this is revenge. I'm mad because he denied us. He rejected it. He rejected you. He rejected us. And we brought you in this, and we need you to talk. And you see how they blowing. I just pay attention how Alice looking side his head and how they blowing and looking at him like, damn, he ain't saying nothing we told him to say and what we rehearsed. But anywho, Angelo, I need him to make sense of this. Now, he said this could be the big break that happened. So what you were going to do, just get her and come. And she went backstage. She got a chance to get on stage, and y'all just went to get her? Or was it your big break? Wasn't she supposed to get the phone number for y'all? What? Because I'm confused. You're saying that there was y'all big break. She got on stage. There was y'all big break because, she in the music business. I don't know who hooked y'all up to put her on this stage, but y'all did the thing. So now you're saying, what person give a 17-year-old their phone number. But remember now, you go back and look at her old Twitter account. She got her age as 18 at that time. I think it was like 2014 or something like that. Well, anyway, so it's supposed to be her big break. So it wasn't going to be no big break if she didn't come with no number, right? That's the question.
How old was she at the time?
17. And my daughter looks 17. We don't let her, dress inappropriate, anything. So even in our music, as artists, she dressed as age appropriate. After that, the number was correct. He was texting. Things transpired, and that's how it began without our knowledge. And before we know it, relationship was already starting.
Are your girls still involved with Robert today?
Yes.
Sadly to say, yes.
Yeah, my daughter is currently still in the situation right now.
So they live in Chicago now.
They live wherever.
Yeah.
We don't know exactly where they
We
are.
have saw our daughter since December 2016, and she's been isolated from the entire family, even including grandparents, cousins, old college roommates,
Funerals, whatever
missed
it may be.
funerals, everything. So it's completely a isolated situation.
This sounds like a cult.
Oh, that's exactly what it
exactly what
is.
it is.
That's exactly what his assistant, the young lady that was his previous manager. After I found out what was kind of going on, I'm sure I'm digging a little deeper. She says it's a modern day cult.
Who said that?
Miss
Shira Mack.
Who said that?
Miss
Shira Mack.
Who said that?
Miss
Shira Mack.
Tim and Jonathan, I believe you guys have set up a hotline
Yeah.
for women who have experienced abuse or coercion by R. Kelly. Are you hoping to hear from your daughter through that?
Yes, we are. We are pleading to hear from our daughter, not just our daughter, the Clary's daughter as well, because we got involved with this as like a team. Angelo is like a brother to me now. We talk daily. So when we do anything that we have to do, we have to work in a team effort to try to get our girls home. So yes.
I got more into this from what I keep telling you. Somebody messaged me that knew what was going on. I would have never knew. We would have never been in this shit. When we approached Adriel, my daughter lied. If she wouldn't have lied to me, this shit probably wouldn't have been where it is. When she lied and we had to keep digging is when we found out shit. So now, somebody put out some real fucked up shit with my daughter on her page. My daughter had about 55,000 followers on her IG. And they put all this shit on there about she sucking Kelly dick, she in the studio, she doing that. I'm talking about on her page, blasting shit. So I'm like, who the fuck? Everybody called me like, yo, who the fuck is that on there? Talking about ass like that. So it was that page, Baby Girl 97 shit. So then I kept that, boom, put it in a file, set it to the side. So when it go on, time go on, you just listen. Now I'm finding out this person know this person with this person. The Shanti and the Savage's best friend. The Shanti and Cheryl Mack best friend. I'm like, hold on, who the fuck all these motherfuckers I got problems with? So how the fuck is you best friends with all these motherfuckers? Now start playing. Like, okay. So how do you make stink? You had no stink. Y'all needed some meat on the bone. The Clarys with the meat.
So Tim set you up.
Yeah, y'all paint the picture of my daughter being fucked up and all this crazy shit y'all had already put out.
So Tim, so you saying so Tim set you up?
You ain't see my live?
I ain't watch all of them.
I checked my live out, man. No, not this one. Yeah, one that I called them up. Him and his wife, all up. I put it to their head. That's why he blocked me and everything after that.
Who?
This is Search for Tomorrow.
For years, you guys, very supportive parents. You were she has a wonderful voice, so you were trying to help her become what she wanted to become, a singer. And you mentioned she was on America's Got Talent. She was on all these different, shows and auditions. And then R.Kelly comes along, and I'm sure this is like her big break, or so you thought.
Right. So that's exactly how it happened. Azriel, due to circumstances or whatever, we went to the concert, and she, she loves music. Because of course that's her thing. She's musically inclined, any type of music, not just, R&B. She's into classical, everything, different types of folk music and everything. So she saw this as an opportunity because she had been trying to get on for so long. Like, she researched him and everything, was like, Ma, like, he is a musical genius, which I won't lie, I won't take that from him. However, you know what I mean? She just saw this as her opportunity, and no matter what, she wanted it. So being a typical teenager, typical girl, she's like, was rebellious about what she wanted, and, she thought this was her perfect opportunity.
So when the people saying, okay, she's doing this, she's doing that, if you look at my daughter's life at 16 and 17, up to the time she met him, my daughter was an outgoing, always out doing her thing. You know how many videos I got my daughter hating R.Kelly songs? She didn't know who R.Kelly was. She hated singing the songs because the songs was minister more. He knows we have this. So that shit with him acting like she was a infatuated fan, she never liked anything about him. She looked at him as an old man. So she saw him perform, which changed everything. Like, damn, he can perform. My favorite artist is Drake. So with my daughter, whole lifestyle from 10 up is recorded. That wasn't us standing on. We made her sing R.Kelly song because we knew they was the high-powered ones that showed her voice range. She didn't like, man, they 5-minute songs. Dad, I'm that old man. I don't like singing them. Oh, that's on tape.
We have Mother stating that she said this is her opportunity. She did research. What kind of research she did? Because, see, we have the social media pappy saying to a blogger she couldn't stand him. He was old. She didn't like his music. So the opportunity was, what? Get on this stage. Get into that head. And we gonna do the thing. Blackmail, extortion. That's what I went in to do my research on. How to blackmail and extort. It's my opportunity to make money.
And she was not going to take no for an answer.
So instead of fighting it, you guys decided, if we're here, if we make sure we're with her this whole time, everything's going to be okay.
Correct. We basically had, decided that someone in the family would be present, during, her travels, and for the most part. And so, because he did advise us that he, would definitely mentor her, and she would be a mentee. And so we were kind of okay with that. Mm-hmm.
So walk me through, the first couple months with him. I know at first she was 17, but you guys were making sure you were with, and then what happens when she turns 18?
Okay, so basically, Azriel was 17. She had 3 months to go before she would turn 18, and school was getting ready to start. So he basically had advised us, like, okay, well, school's getting ready to start. I'm going on tour. Like I'm going to be starting a new leg of my new tour. And unfortunately, it would be easier if she just go ahead and tour with me so she can see the whole ins and outs of how the music industry really works. How you have to get up and practice and still, find time to do a show, and you got to study, do all this stuff and make music. So he, basically kind of gave her an ultimatum, like, you either going to go or you're not. That's what it was. And so she looked at us like, I want to do this. And originally I was like, no, you can't do it. I don't care. Not if no one can't be there. No, that's not going to be, And so, she gave us ultimatums of what she would do, and, if she was not allowed to go. of course, being a typical girl, it was other health issues, of course, as well, that took place. And in saying that, I would say Lifetime left a lot of that information out, which was pertinent information to the story. But however, they kind of gave us an ultimatum. We know in 3 months she would be 18. So with that being said, we let her go. We agreed to it, but she needed to finish school. So she goes on, we're contacting her, no problem, no issues. Like, we calling her, we're able to get on the phone and everything. It seemed like literally a nightmare out of Elm Street, because literally soon as she turned 18, it was like communication started dying and dwindling. Not that we lost complete contact, but we started gradually losing contact. The phone calls were like in between, you know, we couldn't get her right away. We had to call him and things of that nature. But she's still doing her schoolwork. You know, she would return our call, but it may be like a day or so later, a few days later, maybe a week. It started getting like that.
With him, she cannot be with him by herself. She was flying back and forth to different cities, but one of us was always in attendance, either myself, my husband, my son, or my oldest daughter, Isis.
Azriel and I arranged for me to go to Chicago, and I was supposed to stay for about a month or two.
R.Kelly had a platform as big as music can ever give somebody.
And try to figure out how to get my own hustle on without this shit right here, because this shit can cause me a whole different situation. Nigga, I would find something to do so I could be productive. I would learn off a nigga like me. I would be sitting there really with a fake page trying to figure out how you think, how to get some motherfucking bread and be able to travel and do shit for my motherfucking kids. That's what I would do. See, your kids ain't never too old for you to do nothing for.
Damn. It's too much.
Called back home. She was like, nah, Az and them, she want to be up here, but we need to leave.
My parents, they had to give me another room because I told them I didn't feel safe, but they didn't know what was going on, because they said, don't mention anything about it or your sister won't make it out alive.
So your parents didn't know that this situation had happened?
No, I didn't tell them.
The phone call took me that like something happened. So me and him flew up the next day.
Once we flew to Chicago, we talked to R.Kelly, and he explained everything that was going on. It wasn't like our oldest daughter, Isis, thought, as Riella assured us, Dad, it wasn't like that, I promise you.
Even Isis downplayed it once we got there, like, it wasn't that serious. Maybe I just was over the top with it.
Okay, maybe this, you know, my daughter overreacted, you know. We all got eyes on them now.
As the world turns.
But then we start getting information from other people saying, hey, this is what's going on. They're contacting us via social media or whatever, and they're anonymous, but they're not really saying like this is specifically going on, but hey, you may want to look into this because this is, you know, there may be something here or it may be something there. So.
But it was too late at that point.
At that point, it was too late. She was 18.
Wow. And now, what do you hear are the conditions that she's going through and all these girls?
Well, we've talked to a lot of the girls that have left, even some recent girls that have been there and just recently left. We've talked to them. Some of the previous victims, of course, that was in the movie, we talked to them as well. We had inside contacts that we were talking to that were basically advising us. I mean, everybody's saying the same thing. I don't think everybody can lie about, you know what I mean? But basically, everyone is saying the same thing, that the girls are abused. They sometimes, when they get in trouble, they're not allowed to eat. You know what I mean? They can't leave the rooms. They're locked in rooms. They are sometimes made to stay on the tour bus for 3 days. You know what I mean? They're not able to go to the bathroom and bathe like they should. I mean, all kinds of stuff. They do not have their phones half the time. They can't get on any social media. They can't like make phone calls.
As a mother, at this point, nothing is too late because they turn 18. So I hear her like all over the place. She's saying they're really not getting into details, but they're saying this, but they're not really saying this is happening, and but this didn't happen, and anything like that. There was a super fan that sat in Trump Tower and waited on Robert to come in the building and got in touch with him and was able to talk to him. So as parents hearing these allegations, you mean to tell me that you wouldn't go and sit in the lobby and say, listen, we want to see our daughter. We want to make sure that she's okay, because you guys said that you were there all the way until she turned 18. You had the son, you had the daughter, the father, and the mother. Somebody was there. Now, that's what you stated, so I'm pretty sure if you sat in that lobby and was like, hey, I know she's 18 now, and maybe she don't want to speak to us for whatever reason, but we want to see our daughter, make sure that she's okay. So I would think that he would say, okay, come on, I told her to call you guys. I don't know what's going on, but y'all, come on up here.
That has to be, I mean, just heartbreaking for you. I mean, I just can't even imagine.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've been going through it for 4 years, so I've kind of conditioned myself to kind of get past it now, because at first,
what has it been like for you and your husband and your kids trying to just get in contact with her, get through to her, and even just get her back?
Man, it's crazy because I have phone numbers and text message phone numbers for her and for him. It's crazy because I have phone numbers and text message phone numbers for her and for him. And it's funny because I still call, and those numbers aren't even like, they're not out of service, but like nobody answers or whatever. But I still to this day like call and text those phone numbers like every so often, because I'm not sure if, one day it may, like she may answer and say, Ma, it's me, come get me, like I'm here, I'm there. You know what I mean? So the main thing was, we as parents, when we found out a lot of stuff that was going on, and we had information from out of the phones and from different friends and stuff that gave us information on. We had information from out of the phones. They basically said, and to be honest, was that she is now not she was a minor then, but now she's not, so she would have to come forward as a victim. And she has to do it. We as parents could not press charges, or we couldn't file any charges against him because she was no longer a minor. Even with everything that we gave to them and that we showed them that we had in our possession that had actually happened when she was 17, they said they couldn't use it.
I would think they would say that as well, because you guys stated that you guys were with her at all times. When she was 17, y'all rotated, mother, father, brother, sister. So she was in the indictment when it first came out. So I guess she did go in as a victim, and she was part of their bait. They allowed her to stay in the presence of him. They knew that she wasn't in danger and nobody else. It was a ploy and bait to try to convict him for 2008 that they didn't get. And so that's the way I see it, because it makes a lot of sense to me, with the phones and with the evidence, and you guys stating that y'all haven't talked to her, but y'all got information out of her phone. And like I demonstrated in one of my videos, in order to get into an iPhone from another device, you have to give a code, So I'm pretty sure she gave them the code. And in one of my videos, I showed you how you can easily get someone's phone and text from their phone to you to make it look like something, okay? So you allow this Jane Doe to remain in the defendant's home to try to set him up. So once again, I feel like a investigation should be launched on the feds.
Right. And my last question, I think, is, he promised her that he was going to help her with her career. Has he done any of that?
No, he didn't do any of that, and that's the biggest part of it all. Like, he did nothing with her music, and she is really talented. Like, she writes songs. She's a songwriter. She has probably over 30, 50 songs with the copyright, U.S. copyrights. Like, she loves writing stories and music, and that's her thing. She can read sheet music, write sheet music. So he didn't do anything with her talent, and it's crazy because if he would, she probably would have been like the next big thing, you know what I mean? So to continue on his legacy.
Well, my opinion, I think that's why Angelo Clary is like big mad, because he felt like, Robert should have been the one to put her on the map. And, you just have to just look at it for what it is. You said she was on Americans Got Talent. I guess that's what it was. And did she win from Americans Got Talent? And from what father said, that she, she was big and she had it going on, and she was doing concerts, and she had a full house, a packed house, but, she was a local opening act, for someone. And so I feel like because he didn't rush the process, because, Dad stated, he said, you have to trust the process. So he took it the wrong way. I see them back and forth bugging him, trying to rush, the work. And he probably had a lot of, work to do with her, and dealing with her and looking at her personality. She probably went in there, yap, and felt like she knew everything and didn't want to listen. And, and he's working on projects for other people and for himself. And he had concerts and, trying to show her the ropes. And you guys tried to rush the process of someone that really believe in his work, and he has, he wants to craft that work and mold that person into doing a great job. And it just seems like she's a hard person to work with. From, hearing from people that was around her, she was just bossy and feisty and didn't want to listen. So I feel like that's what y'all was mad about, and that's why y'all trying to make him pay, because y'all feel like he didn't launch her career. So now you guys trying to push her on Drake and, other men artists. And my thing on that too, you're saying that before she met him, she had, problems, and y'all claiming that she's traumatized after leaving Robert. But you have the father, as real, Angelo Clary, in the studio, coaching her on singing about playing, sexually. And is that the type of thing that you want to promote for your daughter? So I see why she just, she couldn't make it, because you got the father trying to be a manager, and it's just not going to work. And just dealing with other artists, if I were them, I would stay far away from her, record labels and all, because you wiretapping, working with the feds, you recording everything, you trying to set up people. And I wouldn't work with her for nothing in the world. It ain't like, even though people not going to do anything for crime related, but people wouldn't want to deal with people like her. I wouldn't. If I owned a record label, if I was a famous singer, after this situation, I would have, beware sign with her picture on it in my studio For anybody that's going out searching for talent, make sure if you see this person here, bypass them, okay? And bypass them fast.
Can I ask one question?
Sure.
Just hindsight 2020, now that you know what you do know now, as a mother, what would you go back and do differently?
I have one regret, and that was letting her go. My regret is buying those tickets and letting her go, because I feel like that's my fault. I take full responsibility and full action, because as a mother, I am supposed to protect my child. But you know what? Everybody make mistakes. So I have to deal with the consequences of my action, but nobody can judge me, only God. So I do know that, with that being said, I would definitely not buy those tickets and not let her go. And whatever would have took place, if she, made accurate on her threats or what she would have done, then I would have had to deal with that.
Seemed like to me that she had control, Angelo Clary had control and still have control of you guys. She know how to manipulate y'all and everybody else. So she's a great manipulator. And y'all said it out your own mouth, so don't get mad because I'm repeating what y'all saying. And I'm seeing, the type of child she is. And, she running y'all and she trying to run everybody else. So I feel like this. Y'all didn't have control of her. I surely don't think nobody else did. And then you bought those tickets. You bought the tickets. He didn't buy them. So you admitted you bought those tickets as well.
You can always come home. Nobody would look at you any differently. She had mentioned to my son in a conversation that she didn't want to come home because she felt like we would look at her differently.
I just wanted to point this out because I'm going in order of her interview. This is in order now. So, your son speaks to her. Your son talks to her. And she said that, she don't want to come home because she don't want you guys looking at her differently. And, well, my opinion, my take on it is once she got 18, she felt like y'all can't tell me anything. I am grown and I'm going to do what I want to do. You guys sent her in there hoping that he will make her this mega star. Y'all will be rich and live happily ever after. And she, started being around the fame and the celebrity lifestyle. And she was like, oh, I can have it all. I can have my cake and eat it too. I'm not thinking about daddy. I'm not thinking about mama. And, we know a lot. So I'm just going to put those clips in so people can hear from the horse's mouth. I'm just giving my opinions, but I'm going to let you guys hear from the horse's mouth.
We don't know where Azriel is. Nobody knows where she is. Nobody, since the concert. Nobody has seen her or heard from her. That we were arguing with and fighting with. I mean, we were cussing. I'm going back and forth. I'm threatening them. I'm doing all kinds. My husband, like, you gotta stop doing that. You know what I mean? I'm throwing rocks. I'm banging on the door and everything. And then finally, we called to do the wellness check. The police that came did not really want to do the wellness check.
Yes, throwing rocks and banging on a door for a scene for the Lifetime of Lies docu-series, which you all knew that she was at the Trump Tower. So, see, y'all already knew. Y'all knew y'all could not go to that Trump Tower acting no damn fool. So we just gonna go to this little empty little studio and bang and make a scene, for the Lifetime of Lies, and at the end of the day, you guys fabricated some things. So, because you guys didn't get your way. Because you didn't get your way. So, shame on you guys. You fabricated a lot. And I will drop this clip showing where you guys said y'all knew that she wasn't in the studio.
He flew us into Chicago. We sat with him in his studio. We met with him. I'm thinking in my head, she only got 3 more months. She's going to be 18, so she can do what she wants.
That gave me pause. I mean, it gave me awareness, but you talking about a young lady that's raised by 2 parents going
So you're
to
saying
it
you
then.
trusted her?
I didn't trust him. What I trusted was I raised my child right. I trust my daughter will be honest with her. R.Kelly had a platform as big as music can ever give somebody.
3 months before Azriel turned 18, the Clarys signed a letter giving their consent for her to go on Kelly's tour and stay with a woman named Valerie Denise Payton. Who is Valerie Payton?
It ain't R.Kelly. It's not Robert Kelly.
But does she work with R. Kelly?
She's supposed to work for the label. We found out later on that she works for R. Kelly.
But at the time you signed this, you thought she was...
He told us it was someone affiliated with the music label.
From Sony.
Okay,
correct.
So you thought she would be a chaperone.
Mr. Clary, now you said that you signed her over to somebody named Valerie Payton. And this woman is interviewing you and she's, asking the question, who is Valerie Payton? And you said it's not R. Kelly, it's not Robert Kelly. So you still didn't explain to her who is Valerie Payton. So you're saying this lady is someone that Robert said that works for the label. But up on the same breath, you said you don't trust him. You don't trust him. You're saying you don't trust Robert. So you're trusting his word, but you're saying you don't trust him, but you trusting what he's saying, and you saying, oh, okay, we trust Robert. He said it was Valerie Payton, and she's gonna be her chaperone, and we don't know who the hell Valerie Payton is, but we filled out a little field trip note so she can go on a field trip with Valerie Payton that we don't know nothing about. That's supposed to be working with Sony, and y'all didn't go and do y'all check, but since I've been listening to you, you say you the smart man, you're not dumb. And, you would think that Angelo Clary, this smart genius, would, do his homework. Let me make sure this is Sony. Let me meet with Sony. Let me meet with this person and that person. So we have to look at this and look at it real deep and listen to every word and every action that these Clarys and these Savages and everybody else is doing. So when you look at everything from the beginning on up to now, you see all the foolery. You see all the BS. You see all the plot employed and the setups and, and things like that. So in front of the camera, in front of the white people, and, we have Mr. Clary, the dad, the father. The father that didn't know any better. But in the world of the social media, you have this gangster father that is not taking no mess and not going to tolerate nothing. And I'll do this and I'll do that. And we see what they can do and what Angelo can do. You see what he did, using his Buddy the Man on the Moon platform, So if he wanted to be in touch with his daughter, or if that his daughter was kidnapped and held hostage, gangster father would have went in there gangster style to get his daughter. So, that's why I wanted to show you guys this. It's just a soap opera, okay? This is a real live soap opera, okay?
Avenatti is representing the Clarys. He claims R. Kelly used his celebrity status to manipulate the families and the women.
Michael Avenatti is flapping his gums, the biggest con man there is. So it's much right that he get with, Angelo Clary, the con man as well, and work on how to con Robert Sylvester Kelly. And up on the same breath, he said that he used his fame and his, to manipulate. Okay, no, he didn't use his fame to manipulate anybody. They were hungry, money hungry, thirsty ass, desperate ass people that would go to any levels to try to get money and fame. Okay? Robert is not to blame. He slept up on the bench to make his money, and he sung at a subway to grow. Okay? He did not manipulate anyone to get his money. This is manipulation. The Clarys manipulated. The Savages manipulated for businesses, for business deals and different things like that. Robert didn't use anyone. He didn't use anyone for money or nothing like that. He didn't tell anybody to come and seek him. They went to him, okay? Beginning that concert, okay?
That would provide assurance and comfort to these parents relating to the fact that their daughters were going to be safe, that their daughters were going to be looked after, that all of this was legit, that R. Kelly could be trusted.
Bastard, could you be trusted? Could Stormy Daniels trust your ass? Could the handicapped man trust your ass? But anywho, did the Clarys say that somebody in the family was with her at all times? Mama, daddy, sister, brother, alternated, rotated to be with her. It's straight from the horse's mouth. Go back to the beginning of the video and you'll hear it.
You want to call him?
It was my daughter,
It
too.
was also our daughter, because you have to understand, she was lying and duping us and pulling the wool over our eyes from the beginning.
The difference is our daughter had experience with trying to do it. See, everybody else can talk it, but it's nothing like seeing a father coming in the house and seeing your daughter submerged in water, and you have to pick her up and try to get her to the hospital. See, I've been through that.
Azriel had dreams of becoming a singer, according to her parents, who say she dealt with personal struggles, including a suicide attempt following a bad breakup. That was before she met R. Kelly.
Angelo Clary stated on here that their daughter tried to commit suicide and she was merged underwater. And so I'm trying to understand, you know, your daughter has gone through this terrible ordeal, and you will take her to a concert, R. Kelly concert, or to the fest, and it was more than just R. Kelly at that concert. But you take her to that type of concert. You guys said that your wife, Alice, got you the tickets, and you, Angelo Clary, Alice, and your oldest daughter was going. But your baby girl gets out the hospital. And my thing on that, did you not know when she was getting out the hospital? So somebody had to watch her. So the oldest daughter decided to stay at home and let Azriel go because she loved music, and that music will help her. So my thing is, if Alice got the tickets, you and your wife didn't go. Sister stayed at home with her baby sister, and just get and work on getting the, you know, help that she needs. You know, if this, you know, happened with her, you know, trying to commit suicide, you know, and then you want to immediately get her involved in traveling and trying to, you know, be an artist. I would think you would hook her up with Tamla Mans, some female gospel singers, because she needed inspiration at that time. She needed healing at that time. But y'all chose because you just want her to be this big mega star. You didn't care about her health. And that's nobody else's fault. The more I listen, because I want to add something else to this, the more I listen, the more, memory comes in my head of their statements and what they said. And I started thinking, I'm like, okay, they daughter, he had to, rescue his daughter and put her in the hospital. And a week after, all of this stuff has taken place, right? And they said that their daughter met with Robert at a hotel. And Robert told her to come and perform, at the hotel. It's an audition, right? And they said they went to look for her. They went to different hotels to find her. So that's questionable, like all these different hotels. How many hotels in Florida, wherever they live at? I'm pretty sure it's so many different hotels. And so you go to the hotel and you say you banging on all these doors. So no commotion, nobody, no commotion, nobody, upset because y'all banging on all the doors, or you didn't go to the front desk and tell and talk to the people. Well, I need to know where this guy's at. My daughter is with him, and she's underage, and so what I need y'all to do, I'm gonna call the police, or y'all need to give me that hotel number, or have somebody to go and let him know that her parents are down here. Something. You're going to cause some kind of commotion. And then my thing too, I'm like, usually when a person, or is, has tried to commit suicide, they're under suicide watch. So listening to the Clarys, only thing that came out their mouths, after getting her out the hospital, they said, music will help her, and, and things like that, take her to a concert, and stuff like that. So my thing is, y'all take her to a Funk Fest concert. Why y'all ain't take her to a gospel concert, something inspirational, but y'all take her to a Funk Fest concert. But you didn't try to get her any type of, mental health. You didn't try to, help her, mentally, and get her that type of help. Go see a therapist. Go see counselors and therapists. Professional help. So you didn't watch her, because usually, people that, go through them things, they go up, suicide watch, somebody have to be around her at all times, make sure that, everything is good, keep an eye on her, and, and things like that. So she just, all of a sudden, just y'all lose sight of her, and she gets in the vehicle, and she meets him at this hotel, and for an audition. She didn't let y'all know. Y'all went around all day looking, going to different hotels trying to look for her, and y'all finally found her, y'all, because y'all were banging on the doors, and how y'all knew it was his hotel because the tour bus was there, and things like that. So that's why I say it just you just have to raise your eyebrow on things like that. But we're gonna continue on to these days of our lives, okay?
R.Kelly had a platform as big as music can ever give somebody.
There's a lot going on to this story. It keeps changing. I think parents also have to take responsibility too.
There has been a recent claim, there's been a lot of recent claims, unfortunately, that Mr. and Mrs. Clary sold their daughter to Mr. Kelly, knew what was transpiring between their daughter and Mr. Kelly, asked their daughter to take naked pictures and videos with Mr. Kelly, told their daughter to lie to Mr. Kelly and claim that she was 18 when in reality she was 17. All of this is complete and utter nonsense. It is absolutely false, and it can be demonstrated false by countless pieces of evidence, contemporaneous evidence to the time. Served the rest of his life in one or more prisons here in the United States. Now I'm going to open it up for questions. He's prepared to answer questions.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your concern for your daughter and what you thought when she said these things to young people?
To hear my daughter discredit us and talk so blunt about us that we would sell her. First of all, videotape her. That's like something I don't even know where she got that from. You know, I have 4 granddaughters, and a grandson. We raised a grandson, as well as the baby out of 5 kids. Man, anybody could look up as and see her whole life from 10 on the internet. We got tons and tons of people in Florida that know our credibility. Kids in the neighborhood that dance for my daughter and perform with her, staying at my house every week. So many calls came in of support from young kids to show us that they know this couldn't be true. And that's not agile. But for me and my wife to sit there and see our child say them type of things to us, I don't even know how I feel. Like, I'm angry, I'm hurt, and the disrespect that she showed to Gayle King, first I want to apologize to Gayle King for that, because you can go to any school, any neighborhood. My children was not raised like that. They don't disrespect people like to that level. That's not my daughter. I tell you what it is, that's not my daughter. The woman she had become now is like robotic, like somebody that's got an on and off switch that Kelly say this is what he say. It's believable. To say that we wired money, do you know that wires can be tracked down? We open to all our bank accounts. Nothing can prove any wire transfer from R.Kelly. And we can go back before she even was with him. I didn't meet him till that day she met him in April. This man is a habituous liar. And to take kids, and I understand his method of taking kids because they developing. And you with a man of power and treat people like trash around them and make them feel like they're queens, and you know, you roll with me, I got the world under my fingers. That's what he do to children. He talking about kids at 17. So from 17 to 21 now, he had my daughter. So I don't know what type of stuff he probably showed her, whatever lie he told, but maybe he forgot that we had ongoing conversations and text messages that stamped the date. I mean, this been going on. When we first heard about this nonsense, we addressed Mr. Kelly and everything. I don't even like calling him Mr. Kelly. Let's strike that Kelly, because he don't belong but deserve a mister. He's nowhere, no form and fashion a man. The dude is a monster. He's not. The things he do to these young ladies is not human. I mean, no man would do that. And then the world keep forgetting that he cried on TV saying he wanted his children. His children lived in the same state in him forever. I can show you text messages say, man, go get your own children and love them and give us our children back. So you don't want a relationship with your children. I didn't have anything to do with you stopping you from your children. You talk about you spend all this money on these kids, but yet you don't pay your child support.
Let's take this question.
Sir, what would you say directly to your daughter if she was watching this right now?
If she was watching it, because he don't allow them to do any social media, anything, so they don't know what's going on. So if I had the opportunity for her to hear this, what I would tell her is it's nothing that she could say or do in front of this man, around this man, or in his presence that will ever stop me from loving my child. People don't know how long I've been fighting this fight. This fight been going on 3.5 years when I found out a year later in 2016 about all these allegations from one of his handlers that persuaded me and my wife that everything was okay, a Cheryl Mack, who sat in my wife's face and said everything was okay. So, you know, my daughter was watching this. All is forgiven. I know that's not you. What I want to do is get you help and find out who's Angelo Clary, bring you back to who Angelo Clary really is.
Mr. Clary, we saw you in court when R.Kelly came into court for the very first time. Were you able to say anything to her in person? What were you saying to her, and what was that like seeing her in that setting, sitting behind him and supporting him when he's being charged with 10 counts of aggravated sexual abuse? If you was in the courtroom, you watch me, you know, demonstrate my love for my daughter. What I was saying to her was, baby, we love you. You don't have to live with these lies he's telling you. Anything you want to know the truth about, talk to us. He's lying to you. You know, I told her I talked to Dominique, one of the young ladies that was there. I let her know that it's nothing he can do. We always gonna be here for you. Your parents love you. My wife sat there crying and Michael's arms because she couldn't even bear to witness this. And my daughter never once, not even Jocelyn, looked at me in that courtroom. They looked straight from the time they was in that courtroom to the time they left. And I've never seen nobody ever do that. Courtroom doors open, everybody turn around. Everybody look. They look straight the whole entire time. When her eyes started watering up, she got up, they moved her. And you seen she was shadowed around a man, 3 older women, and then when they sat in front of me, I said the same thing, in her ear, in her ear, in her ear. She got up, she moved again, with the same pack following.
Just so we're clear, during that hearing, Mr. Kelly's handlers purposely moved his daughter away from him consistently because they did not want her father to have an opportunity to speak with her, especially when she began to get emotional and tears welled up in her eyes, and it appeared as though she was actually going to communicate with her father. R. Kelly's handlers immediately whisked her into the front of the courtroom to get her away from her own father.
If I may just have a follow-up, Mr. Clary. Mike was talking about the handlers. What would you say to the people around R.Kelly? Because there seemed to be quite a few people that were with them. What would you say to not only R.Kelly, but the people around him and your daughter?
Believe it or not, I've been, like I was stated, fighting this fight for 3.5 years. I know just about all of them, and I have addressed all of them. I'm not playing. That's my child. I'm gonna die trying. That's my baby daughter. It's no other way that I know to do but attack everybody. And when I went at them, they all play like they don't know nothing. Like, no, I never seen this. Oh, I never heard this. You sat in my face and told me everything was okay. Your daughter got a beautiful voice. Oh man, everybody talk about her, this and that, but you never said that her voice wasn't being recorded. You never said that she was some sex slave to this man. Because my wife would have took my daughter, put her back in that car, and drove 100 miles an hour away from them, on the phone with me. These people are sick. I think they more sick than him because they use it as a paycheck. Because me, if you touch a child in any type of way, you're a perverted individual. You cannot be around me, period. I have no association with you. It makes no sense for me justifying a man that repeatedly do sick things to children. And we're not going to talk about the adults, we're going to talk about the kids. R. Kelly has a fetish and a sickness with children. When he deal with women, that's just to throw everybody off. His fetish right now is always been his children. And that's a choice. It's not a sickness, it's a choice. It's a choice. You know.
When was the last time you had direct communication with your daughter?
In the courtroom.
When she actually spoke back to you, though? When was that?
Over a phone during a wellness check.
And can you tell us about that?
It was the same thing Jocelyn said on TV that she said on TV on TMZ that she just said on the Miss King show, everything. It's the same thing. I'm okay. He taking care of us. We happy. I wish he wouldn't do this, Dad. I love y'all. That's it. Well, she didn't even say I love you no more because from some of the young ladies that have been away, we learned that they can't say love. Like last night, Joy probably got in trouble that night when she told her little sister she loved her. You can't say you love. That's why you always hear them say they gotta go and they hang up immediately. And it made me reflect back to when the last time I spoke to her on the well-being check was as soon as we got to the point of the emotional part, I put my grandson up there who loves his aunt, and she wouldn't even look at them. My mother was sitting beside me. They got on there, we was FaceTime, and she did just like this in the camera. Well, I gotta go. I see y'all. And my mother said, I love you, and she hung up. That's what they do.
In the CBS interview, your daughter said that you had encouraged her to do sexual videos with R.Kelly. This is all about blackmail. At any point, have you ever requested money from R.Kelly? Has R.Kelly ever given you money? Is this about money?
I mean, I really angered when that question come up because I think in a man that sat on there and demonstrated all this movement on TV in front of one of the biggest networks ever, I think you would have presented, hey, here's my proof, instead of banging on your chest saying you're fighting for your life. Because if you're fighting for your life, you would have presented, hey, this is where I wire transferred, this is where I did it. That man has never in his life gave me, my wife, or anyone, any money that have to do with anything with my daughter or anything else.
They have never, I want to be clear about this. They have never demanded money from R. Kelly. They have not received a
I think we still have to address the elephant in the room. We haven't really taken that time, to do so.
It's not about what the world thought it was about. It was about me getting relationships with my daughter, getting the understanding that she was good. Through all the back and forward, the talk, the media, everything, you got painted a picture. So what I needed was confirmation from my daughter.
I understand that, and I respect that completely. But I feel like for me, where it was so hard for me and why I continue to not have communication with my family is because this Lifetime documentary stuff just happened within the last 2 years. And then out of nowhere, these last 2 years, you hear, oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, that is happening. I just feel like, how can you be oblivious to the years that I was okay and just snap, oh my God, I need to know where my daughter's at. She's this, she's that. I need to make sure she's okay. Like, I've been okay for 3 years prior. That's where I drew my line, because at that point, I was an adult. And at that point, I felt like I was okay. So to believe something like that, so extreme, so bizarre, so outrageous, I just couldn't even fathom my parents believing something as bizarre as that. I just really couldn't.
And that's fair. But what you gotta understand is, we haven't talked to you after 16. That's when you graduated. That's when things went blank.
It didn't go blank, but communication slowed down because at that point I was an adult.
Exactly. It was never no black communication. I could show you text messages over and over.
But that's to him.
To him, to your phones, to everybody's phone.
And I would call you guys.
No, I have received on an Apple. I don't have an Apple phone too.
I would call you guys. Don't paint no picture. Like, I have not talked to you guys in over a year because I would call you guys 4 or 5 months at a time. And when I would call you guys would be yelling. You guys would be cursing me out. Mommy would be yelling at the top of her lungs. And so what I would do, I'd say, okay, I'm going to give you about 4 or 5 months. Listen. And then hopefully you just miss me so much that you just want to talk to me and your arms are open. And eventually it got to that. Unfortunately, it took a little bit longer than I anticipated.
As a parent, guess what if you did for 4 or 5 months and we didn't hear from you? How do we know?
Okay, so let me ask you this. Before graduation, I was not even checking in every day then.
Yeah, it was. I talked to you. You'll be like, Dad, I'm busy. I'll call you back. It was no more. You wasn't talking, but you was texting. And if you're free, you'll call me. Hey, Dad, what you doing?
But I didn't do it every day. Now, don't paint no picture like I did every day. Now, maybe like once a week, once every 2 weeks or so.
I didn't have to call you every day. I talked to you.
Okay, so why, when I become 18, 19, 20, 21, I gotta check in with y'all every day?
Where you get that from?
Your wife. This is what you don't understand.
What?
Your wife called me, my mother, saying, oh, there's a lot of rumors going around. I need you to call me every single day. I need to hear your voice every day. I need you to check in with me every day. I said, first of all, I haven't been doing that for these first couple years. So now that I'm an adult, I'm definitely not about to check in with you every day. And that's what started it all. Because of her pride and my pride.
So what did that have to do with me?
You're attached to her. That's your wife. That's your wife.
So I became the enemy with your the feud.
Because when I would talk to you, you would be young too.
No, because if you saying your beef was with your mother, then you said, oh,
I feel like it was with both of you guys because, like I said, both you and her, when I would call, it was nothing but arguments.
I was never present with you and your mother on the phone. I was never present with you and your mother. That's why I never knew when you and your mother talked. What I did was found out when your mother told me she talked to you and y'all argued or whatever, and I would call you. And you would have that same attitude you and her left with towards me.
Yes, I would.
Okay, but I didn't have anything to do with that. So therefore, give me a chance to pick what side I'm going to be on, who's right and wrong. You came at me aggressive because of you and her.
This is not it, because I know your wife confides in you, and I know she's going to explain it to you.
Exactly. But she's not going to give me everything, evidently.
So, as you can see, the elephant still needs to be addressed.
But that's the thing.
Which will be addressed.
What I'm telling you is don't merge us like I never merged you. See, I could have been one of them parents that just fell victim. I made sure you stayed in a certain right. Because was you missed? Yes. I know that how much you love your father. So for me not to talk to you for these terms and these times, it's a problem with me. I don't need to talk to you every day, but I need you to check in and let me know, hey, Dad, I'm fine. So when it comes to me having to track you and run and travel and do all this, it's a problem, man. Especially when I talk to your better half at that time. He'd make it seem like it's a game. And you ain't gonna play games with me, with my child. So the difference was with him, he wasn't dictating that to you. So that's where me and his war started. If he was dictating it to you, you could have put it off by calling me saying, hey, Dad, it ain't like that, I'm good, this and that.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. Robert would ask me to call you guys, and no matter what city we were in, he would say, is this your father's number or is this your mother's number? And it would say, call me. And I would say, yes, that is my father's number. And he's like, you need to call him. And I would say, I'm not going to call him. Because at that point, the only thing I get is bickering every time I pick up the phone. So if I can avoid it, if I can enjoy myself in this nice little penthouse while we in New York for the weekend, I'm going to enjoy my weekend. It was very suffocating because I was an adult at the end of the day, period. And like I said, I'm not obligated to answer anyone. I know that you are my father and I love you dearly, but if I was a homeless person on the street right now with a cell phone and I did not want to call you, I would have that right. Now, would it make it right? Probably not. But I am obligated to that right if I don't want to.
But me as your father, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hunt every street, every corner, every curve, every bridge until I find you. Because
I feel like I'm looking for hope. It's very hard. I've spent my last years with this man, so it's not something that I can just turn on and off. It's devastating. I feel like I'm a very intelligent, smart, bright 21-year-old. I am definitely young, but I'm very mature in spirit. And I just feel like, anyone who thinks that I'm brainwashed and not, smart enough to make my own decisions. I just feel like that determines how, you know, their mentality. That's not something I can control, but I know that I'm very smart and I know that I'm intelligent. So, you know, Rob, our last conversation that I had with him in Chicago, you know, he inspired me and told me, Bear, just do what you want, do what makes you happy. He told me to continue to pursue my dreams, pursue whatever I want to pursue. And that's really all that I would be able to do. It feels like a high. I mean, it feels like, you know, you're in love, you're happy to be in love, and you feel like no matter what you go through with this person, it's worth going through because there's no other person you would want to go through this with. And that's with, you know, you being in love with whoever it is. You know, not just me and Rob personally, but that could be any other person's relationship. You just feel like no matter what, the good or the bad, you want to go through it with that person. I feel like, truthfully, all of the women that have been associated with Robert, I feel like this is me personally. Once they saw him as a celebrity, not as a human being. They did not meet him at church. They didn't know him no which way, except for as R.Kelly, whether they saw him at a mall, whether they saw him at a movie theater, whether they saw him at a park, whether they saw him at a show. And so, no matter what, all of them met him as a celebrity. And they were infatuated with that celebrity. And because of that, I feel like a lot of them just dated him because of that. Because of who he was, because of the life that he had, because of the life that he could provide them. You know, a lot of them talk about how badly they were tortured, but can you talk about the shopping sprees? Can you talk about you keeping your hair and nails done? Can you talk about all the great times that you had dinner and was spending money and was splurging and was so happy? Because one thing about Robert, he has a very giving heart. And there is no way at all whatsoever that he is a celebrity and he's not giving them a penny to enjoy themselves. And that's where I get so upset, because as a celebrity, he has no reason to keep you kidnapped or keep you tied up. He just has no reason to do that when he can allow you to move freely, take care of you, and still, you know, at the end of the day, whatever will happen, you know. So for people to just say that, you know, oh, I was just kidnapped or I was tied up, I couldn't leave, I couldn't do this. It's like, what about the good times? I know there were good times.
Hey, give me shit. He talking out his ass. You think he ain't had a fans all up in my account? You think that when he put that shit out there on Gail King, them same goddamn Homeland and shit, they say, hey, Mr. Clark, you need to see your account. You know what they saw? Me with wire transfers and cash apps and goddamn Western Unions to my daughter.
Wow. I say that my daughter is kidnapped. I say that I can't locate my daughter. I can't get in contact with my daughter, but I'm able to cash out and wire her money. And I just see a bunch of just details in this story. Is just so much that's not, you know, adding up. Okay, we have the parents saying that they were there at all times with her until she turned 18. And then you have the father saying that he wired money to her. So basically, she's kidnapped. She's held hostage. She can't go anywhere. But I can't get in contact with her. But I'm able to cash app her and wire her money. Okay.
See, what he gonna do is embarrass himself in court, and I'm waiting for it.
But
he's gonna have my daughter probably doing in jail with a contempt of court. My daughter wasn't allowed to go half the places she went because he didn't never tell nobody. So he can't. Listen, this is what I'm telling you, bro. Ain't nothing. I ain't even even know half the place they went. That's shit that his camp gave up.
So why should he tell the parents when the parents stated that they were with someone in the family was with her? Someone in the family had to be with her in order for her to travel. So you was with her, right? Somebody in the family was with her. So why should he know about the travels? You should know about the travels because someone, as y'all stated, that someone had to be with her, a family member, at all times.
Nothing where they track. I talked my phone, doing on the phone. I'm busy. I'm running a couple businesses, doing my thing. This is what I reckon I do to make sure she's good. She's doing her schoolwork, her shit, this and that. That's what I was into.
But Angelo, you told the public in the mainstream media that you couldn't even get in contact with your daughter. She wasn't answering the phone. He took her phones from her. She couldn't answer you guys. She couldn't talk to you guys, but you were on the phone communicating with her, trying to make sure that she's doing her homework. And so at the same time, but you guys said that y'all was there. Somebody was there. So which one is it? You was there, you wasn't there, or you couldn't get phone calls, or you was getting phone calls, receiving phone calls from her? What is it? The lies continue.
I ain't seen my daughter in 3 years. And guess what? I don't see nobody walking around with pictures of her. We hired an investigator. I couldn't get any pictures of her. So I like to know, if you're not held, how do you disconnect from your family? Made me work, did anything. On my indictment, motherfuckers, is Angelo Clary at the top. Over all the motherfuckers, even in other states, who try to put me away. So if you want to know something about me, then ask me. See, Tasha K got my shit, but I can put my real federal indictments out, my charges, everything. Motherfucker, I can tell you every place I went and did time, lawyers and everything. See, one thing we don't do in Baltimore, and that's why I know it's a lot of the women that's on there, and I seen a comment somebody just sent me, they knew my name. That dumbass shit, that's silly dilly shit. Either that's a dude that's fugazi on some women shit, or it's women. They dudes that pump up women to say anything out their mouth. And then when somebody pull their ass up in the city, after they don't see it funny no more, and then it's a problem. Then Angelo a monster. Then you remember who Pooh is. See, I don't have to fake. I never hide. You never seen me duck, dodge. So you think after 3 years being on here, you clowns can call me out and think you could tarnish my name? Bruh, really, it ain't fazing me. What I'm fucked up about is that so many people want to have something to say from my own town, throwing little dumbass shots out there. All in the name of fucking with this guy here. That's the crazy part to me. Now, I do have a little homegirl that definitely cleared shit up and don't like how shit going. And it's fine. I'll keep her out the way. But make no mistake, man, I'm EA bound. You want to know where I'm at. So all this shit with the Goose and Pig and a Spencer, you motherfuckers really don't know me. So, but I advise you, if you're in the city, call your cousins, your best friends, and ask them the real truth. See, because one thing we do in our town, we play paperwork games. See, we don't get out there and we don't discredit niggas and you ain't got no proof. Because niggas do die. Family members do die. Kids do die over dumb shit other people do. So make no mistake about where I come from and what really go on in that city and how our mentality is.
Listen, if I raise a young girl, grab a young girl right now, that's 16 or 17 years old, and keep her ass in a goddamn closet for the next 4 years, when did she get out of there, because she grown now, she ain't running away, and she walking beside me in public, she ride with me, that don't mean that it's nothing wrong. Discipline to her condition. That's all that means.
wait a damn minute here. Now, mainstream media father says otherwise, say different. But see, social media pappy said I'm not saying that he did that, but just using that as an example. So you saying he didn't do anything like that. But see, mainstream media father say something different. But when social media pappy get on here and talk, he say something different. You know, Robert didn't do this. Make it make sense.
I was the one that was responsible. I would take responsibility if I lived in Chicago. I don't live in no Chicago. I don't follow no fucking R.Kelly. So I didn't care nothing about R.Kelly. It was a business deal, and that was it. And I know he's still a fucking star. That is it. That's all only thing I paid attention to. I know he's still a fucking star. That is it. That's all only thing I paid attention to. I know he's still a fucking star. That is it. That's all only thing I paid attention to.
Right.
What I know is he just got another contract and a motherfucking $100
Right.
million tour going on. What I know is he just got another contract and a motherfucking $100
Right.
million tour going on. What I know is he just got another contract and a motherfucking $100
Right.
million tour going on. 2008, bro, I was hanging with Floyd Mayweather under a fucking boxing camp with a goddamn heavyweight champion that I helped bring out with finance. That's what I was doing 2008. So if you think I was worried about R. Kelly and fucking court, that was far from my mind. That motherfucker that's in tune to him. My whole world don't exist around music and this and that. When they come around to my daughter and she's singing, that's when things in life change.
Okay.
My daughter was living in Las Vegas and never even heard of when 2008. Of course we heard the allegations, brother. A lot of business people saying that I got a felon. What the fuck do that mean if we're gonna do business? Fuck breaking the law, breaking the vow of my 17-year-old stepdaughter. My 17-year-old stepdaughter. My 17-year-old stepdaughter. My 17-year-old stepdaughter. I have a father. I don't give a fuck about all other stuff. I'm talking about what do any of this shit got to do with me talking to this man? Not talking to you, not talking to his crew, not talking to that motherfucker that wasn't there. Talking to him. Although I took responsibility on Gail King's show of my responsibility of making one of the worst decisions in my life with my daughter, allowing her to fucking manipulate the situation to go. I didn't really care about that neither.
Yes, Angelo Clary, you can have a great lifestyle, but you have to stick by the rules. So in your household, you have rules. But this man that's a mega star, well known, in everybody's eyes, he's this multi-millionaire. He has to protect himself and his surroundings and the people that's in his life. So that means if I don't want mama, daddy, cousin, and everybody else running in and out my house, I'm not going to allow that. If I'm not going to allow people just walking in and out my home. And at the same time, because you're dealing with someone like Robert Sylvester Kelly, and if someone, find out you're involved with Robert Sylvester Kelly, they can do harm to the people that he cares about because they want the R. Kelly brand, that's money. A lot of people can, kidnap someone, try to hold them for ransom, for money, all of the above. So the same way you have rules in your home, he has the right to have rules in his home as well, Angelo Clary. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys too.
Getting up. No.
You think I don't have a relationship with my daughter? Let me just ask you.
No, I'm saying if you did.
I'm asking you. Do you really believe all of
When the last time you talked to her? When the last time you talked to her?
If you really believe.
When the last time that you talked to her?
I'm asking you a question.
I'm asking you when the last. If you can tell me when the last time you talked to her, I can give you an answer. I can give you a response.
It's not a direct if I'm talking to her, how much I'm talking to her. I'm asking you, do you think I don't have a relationship with my daughter?
But to have a relationship with your daughter won't be on national TV trying to change things around for us when it comes to her daddy.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't she? She love her man. You just told me how your
Okay,
girl, you would, hold on.
but even but
change your daughter.
right, but that does not mean she don't respect me as her father. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, brother. What I'm trying to explain to you this here, because her decisions that she make doesn't mean she don't respect me as her father. She won't disrespect me as her father. What she did on national TV, she talked about you. In other words, she defended R.Kelly more than she did defended you. So listen, no, listen. So if you got a relationship with your daughter, there's nothing nobody can say nothing to turn your daughter against you. And all I'm saying is this here, bro, and all that shit. I'm talking about today, 2019. If you want a better relationship with your daughter, that's what you should.
I don't want a better relationship.
You don't?
Man, her relationship gonna stay just like this. So let me tell you what I'm not gonna do as a man. Out of 6 kids, they never change. Doing bits to one of them right now. I don't change. My daughter know her father for 17 years. What she did for R.Kelly, she did with him. She posed did that. Otherwise, the motherfucker call their mother bitch to their face. You think they meant it? After they finished with her, you know where they at? Right beside their mother. That don't mean shit because she went on TV. That impressed the world. That didn't impress me. That showed me her loyalty to her dude that made her ass get up there and show her that she would go against her father and her family for him. And that's what she proved. I may have a little bit more experience in life than other people. Because I know what that is. I got a brother who fucking addict who turned out some of the most prettiest girls in the world off his dick in the dope thing. And turned them into dope things. Career women. They went against their family. That ain't mean they did it then. They was just fucked up because they was in love with him. He wasn't, listen to this. See, if I went to get something from him other than a song, I could see that. He wasn't giving me shit. I'm going to say it again loud and clear. I was paying him to do a song with my daughter. So, I don't know where people get this scenario fucked up. He wasn't giving me no goddamn, no opportunity. He wasn't giving me no option to life. He wasn't doing none of that. All he was doing was told to do a song, and that's it. A song, and that's it. He didn't do nothing. Now, if he went at me and said, yo, I'm going to get you to make the door. The star, yo, I'm going to give you this much money. Yo, I'm going to sign you. I'm going to give you hit with some cash. That's different. And he might have did that with Tim. I don't know.
First, she was to be working with Robert under Sony label. Sony was to get her, and she was going to work under Robert. Now you pay Robert to produce one song. So to produce one song, it doesn't take to sign a kindergarten field trip note. It didn't take her to live with him. It didn't take, all the things that you guys are saying that happen just to produce one song. Maybe it takes 1, 2, 3 days to be in the studio to work with Robert, just like all the other artists. You had K Michelle, you had the Ron Isley, you had B2K, you had Celine, you had all these different people, Michael Jackson, to go in, and Robert produced a song. Okay, it didn't require everything that you guys said you had to go through just to get one song produced. So once again, that what makes you look, side-eye and be like, this doesn't sound right. This is a bunch of BS. So you can't get mad at the public for looking at all these different things that you're throwing out there. So it doesn't make any sense, to do that. If he's going to produce a song, he's going to come in, he's going to lay down a track, maybe even do some vocals on a demo so he can, put it out there like, this is how, I'm visualizing this song to be for you.
Know the secret to him never being successful at manipulating women and destroying young girls' lives is to strip him of everything he's worth. And that's all his fame, all his music, and all his money. And that's what I vowed the day that I talked to him on the phone and asked him to release my daughter, give my daughter communication back with her family. And if my daughter want to go back, then I'll pay for the ticket. But you're not going to deprive her that opportunity to come home. And when he said, trust the process, I told him, I'll meet you on the other end, because I vowed from that day on the phone with him, he'll vouch for that I was going to destroy him. So he told the world the truth with one thing in Gayle King, and that was the truth. And I will not stop until he's back at the subway singing to a crowd of people going through for money.
Let me give y'all my opinion on Daddy Pappy Manager. See, this is an angry man. He claimed that they have all these connects. They had all these connects before they was even involved with Robert Sylvester Kelly. And so if you listen to all the clips, I wanted y'all to listen to the key words. And when y'all see that key strolling around, that's for you guys to hear the key words that's coming out their mouths. And so you have Daddy Pappy Manager in outrage because things didn't go right. He felt like that was his opportunity. That was a big break. That was their big break. They was going to, make it big because it was the R.Kelly brand that they was dealing with, which they claimed that they was working with Sony, and Sony was letting them work with Robert to produce one song. All of this from one song, okay? If you paid him to produce one song for you, y'all was back and forth, as you say. And then you said you was on the phone with him. I want to point that out, too. You see that key moving around his mouth? He said, when I was on the phone with him, but they said they wasn't talking to him. They wasn't communicating with anyone. Their daughter was snatched up after they filled out that kindergarten field trip note to be working with Sony, and they was going to have this stranger being her chaperone, and they didn't even know who the damn stranger was. Then they found out the woman's name, and so they didn't do no background check. Come on now. And so that's why I'm showing y'all these clips, because see, the thug Pappy said they do paperwork. They go by paperwork. He doing all his research. So if you look at how things are going in the YouTube streets and this social media streets with Daddy Pappy Manager, he got all kinds of minions doing background checks on us and doing all this kind of stuff to see if they can do whatever they can do to destroy us. And he couldn't even take that energy to do his research to see if all of this stuff is legit, and to letting his daughter leave with a stranger. So, and I'm just pointing this out because I want it all to make sense to everyone. Everyone. Just everybody. Just make sense of it. First, your daughter was kidnapped. You signed the field trip note. You don't know who the hell the woman was until somebody told you who she was. This woman supposed to been working with Sony. You gotta make it sense, make sense. And you're telling on one end that somebody was with her at all times. Somebody in the family was with her all the time. We wasn't gonna let her just hang out on her own, but somebody in the family was with her at all times. And then we signed a field trip note, and things like that. So, like I said, I'm just trying to let y'all hear this stuff out of these people's mouths for yourselves. And I'm giving my opinion, and I'm breaking it down TBD style. And it is what it is. If he can go and do all his research and try to find out all about the bloggers, the supporters of Roberts, why he didn't do his research with Sony? Let me see if this woman I'm signing this damn field trip note to, let me make sure who she is. Or you were just excited. All I want is the money. Like, all I want is money. He had a platform big as anybody could imagine. He had $100 million tour going on, and all you saw in your damn eyeballs and brains and stuff was some dollars floating all around, and gonna have a rich, famous damn daughter, and she was gonna be married to this rich, famous man, and all hell broke loose. Azriel took her ass into that damn lifestyle, baby, and she said, "The hell with daddy, pappy, manager, and mama, and anybody else. I can have my cake and eat it too. I am enjoying the good life, and I don't have to call y'all because I'm in this nice ass penthouse in New York City, and y'all messing up my vibes. I'm enjoying myself, going to the damn beaches and stuff, eating caviar and all kinds of stuff, you know, horse meat, and just eating good, living the damn life. And I don't give a damn about y'all right now. And I know what you sent me in there to do, but damn it, hell, I'm doing all right." And all hell breaks loose. And the damn attorney said this best. When everything went sour, she hauled all ass. And so daddy is mad as hell because she messed it up. And I messed it up. And see, when Robert was telling you hell, when Robert was telling you, I'm going to say R.Kelly too, you know, so some people can know who I'm talking about. Some people don't know him by Robert. But see, when R.Kelly told you to trust the process, damn it, daddy, he was telling your ass you went in rushing. Trust the damn process. Hell, shit, your daughter need a lot of working on because, hell, she, goddamn it, she thinks she know everything like you. And it's a process. Just like Eve, it was a process with her and Dr. Dre. She ran off. It wasn't moving fast enough for her. So when he was telling you to trust the process, you was rushing the process, and your ass got pissed off. Because, see, you want to be the boss. See, because like you stated before, that you ran stuff in your household with your wife and kids, and you had the money. You was the one, the head honcho there. And see, you were trying to be head honcho in somebody else's household, and that didn't work. And see, that pissed you off because you couldn't run both damn ships. You can't drive both ships, daddy pappy. That's all I'm saying. And I just hope everybody just see where I'm getting at with this. I want everybody to just listen to the words and draw your own conclusions. Because I have came to minds already a long time ago when I seen all the lies and ploys and plots and schemes and envy and jealousy and madness because, you know, somebody's life is a little better than yours, and I want that too. I know I didn't work hard for it, but I wanted it. So listen to these parents. Only thing we wanted was a deal. But they claimed that they had all these connects. And his daughter been singing since 5 years old. And she's a good damn singer. She was a damn star. So they're going to show, of course, you know, parents going to always think their child is the best in everything. So, you know, they get the clip. She opening up for, you know, shows and stuff like this. So they'll show the clip where you see a whole bunch of people in the audience. My daughter did this. She was an opening act for these people. Okay, y'all was around Stevie J and all these people allegedly, and damn, nobody could hook y'all up. So R. Kelly was the magic key for y'all big break. For y'all big break, and you're mad because it went sour. All you have to do was trust the process. That's all. And y'all could have went somewhere. Y'all could have been somewhere. It wouldn't have been all this here. But angry pappy had to do it his way. And like he said, you know, like he told the blogger, I'm pissed because she took her ass there. She didn't do what the hell she's supposed to been doing. This man got his shit. He got his shit on deck. He got his money. She ain't got shit. So if he put her ass out today, she gonna come home, and I gotta try to find a way to maneuver my life to try to bring her back into my household and take care of her broke ass. Because she went in there and just fell in love and didn't want to do what the hell she's supposed to do and getting her own life and being self-made. So now I got to try to maneuver my life. I'm taking care of a grandchild. I want my damn kids to be grown and make something of themselves and have something. Hell, if you're going to be with the man, let the man do something for you. Let the man give you your own. So when he get tired of your ass and put your ass out, you got some goddamn money. You got your own goddamn business. You got your own goddamn life. I understand, daddy, pappy, manager. Every parent want their child to be self-made. But hell, you ain't have to do all this and be mad at R.Kelly because your damn hard-headed ass damn daughter didn't want to do what the hell she's supposed to be doing. Shit, you can't get mad at nobody. Shit. A life learning lesson. A broad lesson is a better lesson than a telling lesson. Daddy, pappy.
18. I'm going to say that once again. That's all proven. When I went to go get an iPhone to prove the shit that came to me, the name that came to me, the email that came to me, the text message that came to me, all that's noted. So y'all got y'all scenario twisted, bro. You got the wrong part with that one. That dude got a 17-year-old violation with me. That's his fucking problem with me.
Well, shit, why you just ain't go with her?
And the difference is, you think I didn't?
Listen, I'm saying, why you didn't stay just with her through the whole flick? And this would even be an issue if he fucked her or not.
What I look like, uproot my life. You know what? I'm a shit. I just thought I got 6 kids, 5 grandkids. I have an empire I'm built. I'm not running around after every one of my kids.
Let's go a little bit different. Are you crazy for sending your 17-year-old daughter to a grown-ass man unattended? Unattended.
No, my daughter wasn't unattended. That's another thing you don't know. So listen, what I'm not going to do now, you're telling me you didn't really do your research. You listened to a bunch of bullshit somebody else. Why would you make a statement that say, oh, my daughter went unattended? You wouldn't have made that statement because you knew.
But she wouldn't go without me.
My daughter wasn't unattended.
Who was attending her then?
It doesn't matter. That's the difference. My daughter wasn't unattended.
Okay.
That's what people don't know. So that's where let me catch you up with that. That's another lie that they put out there, not you, and you, everybody else talks about. They can paint this what they don't understand. So I'm gonna tell you this, and this straight up, DJ. I'm gonna tell you. Take Azriel out of this. Take the Clary out of this. Right? We drop off. Boom.
Whew, like I said, this is a soap opera. How many times this man stated, you don't know what you're talking about, she wasn't unattended. How many times have you heard in these different clips where they said somebody was with her at all times? So once again, this is some stuff that he's all over the place. She wasn't unattended. Then she was violated. Somebody was with her. Just lies after lies. So welcome to the days of our lies. Welcome to the days of our lies.
My daughter ain't a part of none of them but one. One situation that's in New York. Do y'all ever think why the state not letting this go? If they ain't have enough shit, don't you think they would have gave that shit to the feds? Dropped that shit so they could be out of it?
Once again, you have to raise your eyebrows on this. This conversation happened October the 4th, 2019 at 5:14 p.m. with Kevin and Angelo Clary. And at that time, she was still in the home. And you have to, raise your eyebrows like, okay, he admitted that his daughter was part of the case in New York. And so you will raise your eyebrows and be like, okay, this person is part of an indictment. But she still was allowed to stay in this guy's home. She was allowed to stay in Robert's home. She was allowed to be around Robert. So it makes you wonder, was everything set up to make sure that they can get Robert, get a conviction with Robert? Because they want to make sure. And it's a lot of questions here, and it raised your eyebrows to think. And like I said, I like to go back and listen to things multiple times and just sit back and analyze. And I said, I remember this conversation back in October of last year. I said, let me go back and see if I can hear some key words in this here. And that's exactly what I feel, that they all work together so they can try to make sure that they can get a conviction for on Robert Sylvester Kelly. And that's what I see. I see that some anger. I see this O.J. Simpson type thing that's going on here. And that's why I'm going to continue to work hard to bring out information. I'm going to continue to point out the lies, because I see some foul stuff here.
Always protect her surroundings. Because before I let a lawyer drain her, take advantage of her, put her in some fucked up contract, and then rob the fuck out of Kelly right along with it, then I'll be a worse to sit back and allow some dumb shit like this. You don't want your child to have no goddamn fucked up contract and ruin her goddamn life.
At the time, Robert was in intake. So Azriel was still at the Trump Tower. And Dad wasn't more concerned. He was, about, let me get her out of this Trump Tower, and let me try to get her some help, and and things like that. Let me try to get her out of there. I just need to get her in her own apartment, because I am worried about her signing the wrong deals. I'm not gonna allow this attorney that's snooping around have her to sign some kind of effed up contract and mess up her and Robert's money. So he was more, I need to protect his coins, and I need to protect her, because see, his coins is going to be her coins. And that's how I see it. My opinion. And I'm just calling for what I hear, and just looking back at everything, and, analyzing and researching and things like that. When I was hearing him that night, when he said what he said, I'm like, dang, are you more concerned about, her and her well-being, or are you worried about contracts? I'm trying to make sure she don't sign no effed up contracts. And this attorney's trying to get Robert's money and gonna have her sign contracts, and I'm trying to get her in her own apartment. That way I can be, all eyes on her, and just make sure that, she's making sure she's signing the right contract, because we worked hard to get this far, and we're not trying to mess up anything that we're trying to get here, because she signed the wrong contract.
One of my kids, they're going to pick up one motherfucking ring. What's up, Dad? What's going on? And I don't give a fuck, and they on the block forever. So I'm not gonna allow nobody to try it. You can't win it. I got a 20.
Listen.
No, yeah, it make it better. Cause that shit was coerced. That bullshit they did. That's some bullshit right there. Nobody gonna, for one, ain't no parent will not see their kid come home and film their kid, and then third degree their kid. Ain't nobody gonna fucking do that.
Somebody did it. Somebody did it, cause Jocelyn ain't go back home.
Yeah. We know that. Not after she came back home again. They met up with her again. But that's what I'm saying. It was just, that whole shit was like the recordings he got. He got recordings of her giving that man head, all that shit. That's some shit they had to plot together. Because he wouldn't have been able to be on her phone. How the fuck did you get a recording as a father, and you got her giving this man head? Like,
what?
That shit, we don't play no
what?
You think I would slap my daughter fucking head off. I want to hear no shit like that.
Tim Savage record.
They got a whole lot of shit. Like, you don't even understand, bro. Like, a lot of shit. A decided to cut them off, shit, they got enough shit. That's why they be making all that stink. But then they had to ask, like I had to ask them when I found out, like, yo, what the fuck? What made y'all record this, though? Like, sort of come on and say, I ain't thinking about no motherfucking recording. I'm thinking about hugging her, talking to her, let her talk when she want to talk about what she want to talk about. We can't act like we ain't got no gap, but we gonna learn to know who the woman she is now. That's what we gonna learn. We not put no pressure on her.
Yeah.
This is a hot mess. And, you know, my opinion, I'm doing a whole different thing on the Savages, on theirs. This is about the Clarys, but since he brought that up, Angelo, it's so crazy that a person is so desperate that they'll take their daughter's personal life, you know, sexual life, and share it with the public, or take it and blackmail, you know, somebody that they love, or blackmail their daughter into trying to get money up. And so looking at Joycelyn Savage, one of her statements on her Twitter, she said, my father made me this way. You know, she don't want to come out. She don't want to come around him. And I believe that is some of the reason why Joycelyn wants no part of her father, because he would go through any measures for money. And that's my opinion. And you see these fathers, you hear all this gossip, with the dad, and they're setting up innocent people, putting them in jail, and you know, for no reason, just because things didn't go their way. And this is as the world turns. Mess is going on.
You know this. I'm as real as they get, brother. My number don't change. I take all heed to what somebody say. My only growth is with Frank, is what it is with that man. Other than that, man, I don't get to all that shit. I don't wish the man 100 years. None of that shit. What I do want is that man to had a conversation with me when so many people, like, let me give you a little bit more. Do you know who James Mason is?
Who?
James Mason. He was Rob manager. He the one that got locked up by the Savages. He the one that Savages got locked up right before they put all that pressure on R.Kelly. You know how he's ready to beat his case against the Savages right now? Right now, because of me. Me telling the truth. That man ain't threatening. That man had them on fucking terroristic threat.
Who?
That man was ready to say Tim Savage and James Mason on terroristic threat. That man out on bail right now because of that.
So
that man would have did a mandatory 9 years with his background and back in the feds for that shit.
So do Kels really know Ashante? Because they said you don't know her.
Yeah, I don't know nothing of that. I don't know LaShawn. I don't know none of them people. Like, that's what I'm telling you. I don't really know. I didn't know shit. Like, everything was supposed to be on the up and up with me. And none of that. Till them motherfuckers inboxed me, emailed me, and fucking March or April, right when my daughter graduated, and my daughter was sleeping with R.Kelly, and it wasn't about his music and this and that. So, like, what? So, you know, I talked to my daughter, called her, know what the fuck going on. Nothing. My daughter straight up, nothing. You know, I got to believe my daughter, like maybe motherfuckers hating on her, you know what I mean, the whole this level, this and that. We go right out there, fly out, sit down, talk to her, this and that. She come home, all that. That's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't nothing until I went digging. That's when that 2015 shit came out. But then that was a whole nother step out moment when I called y'all. I flew up to Chicago. He refused to let me in. I came up on a motherfucking visit at a tour when they came to, where they was at. And Jacksonville, Florida, or Daytona, one of them. I rolled up over there. I was like, man, we had to have a conversation. Okay, he kept avoiding, kept leaving me, my daughter, sending my daughter, but he wouldn't come. All that dumb shit. So that's what I'm saying.
He kept sending for your daughter?
He kept sending my daughter.
What you mean?
Like, letting her talk to me, acting bullshit like he was coming, this and that. Because I wanted to see him. I ain't even tell my daughter I had knew that shit. I wanted to see him. And he never seen. He kept avoiding. And kept avoiding. I get so much shit, bro. Like, people don't know how much motherfucking time and energy I put in trying to just sit down with him, get this motherfucker to sit down because he didn't know that was a violation.
We're not here to talk about decades. We're here to talk about what our parents are doing right now.
Right.
And what they're doing right now is all for money.
Right.
Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
My daughter, man, who she fall in love with, I got to support my daughter. So that's why I'm saying I ain't want people to get misconstrued with my thing. My actions is my daughter. So if my daughter chooses to stick with him, of course that's going to have your part of my goddamn life. Because whether I like him or not, he's a part of my life because I got to stand by my daughter.
I'm just so damn confused. Now, was she molested and you tried to put him in jail? Or that's my daughter, that's my son-in-law. You call him her better half. And, I'm going to have to accept him, because, my daughter loves him and I'm going to make him part of the family. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And it shows you that these allegations is just what they are. Allegations. And because things didn't go the way, they wanted it to go and things turned sour, so they have to just, just keep going and try to just please their base to keep this saga going for money. Everything is for money. Just listen, and, that's why I am letting you hear from the person themselves so you can hear the type of things that they are saying. And this is somebody talking different, from what they say on mainstream media. So the mainstream media father versus the social media pappy. Another eyebrow raiser. Okay, you have the father saying that his daughter was kidnapped. They couldn't get in contact with their daughter. They didn't know her whereabouts. He was looking all over for them. So he went to the concert. So evidently somebody let them know that, Azrael's father is looking for her. He want to speak to her. He want to speak to Robert, and Robert like, I'm busy. I'm at a concert. I'm doing a show, and I probably got to do autograph signing, and then I got to do, my press, talk to the press, and about the concert, the radio station, and yada yada. And so he said he kept sending my daughter out. So you got to raise your eyebrows on that, right? So you say you found out allegedly that your daughter was being messed around with and that you wanted to talk to him. But if there's some questions that you needed to, you had doubts about, you wasn't sure about, and you said you don't believe him, why did you want to talk to him? So I'm going to ask him, did you sleep with my 17-year-old daughter? This is what you was going to ask him, right? Or it was something else. So your daughter was sent out, multiple times. And you said, I didn't tell her, I didn't want her to know. But why did you send her back in there? Why you didn't take her home? That raised your eyebrows. You see what I'm saying? So if the father said that, you know, he got information out of phone, and you had, you know, allegedly Ashanti McGee, you know, reaching out to you on social media, and other people, you know, allegedly Cheryl Mack, and everybody trying to bring this awareness to you that she's not doing what she's supposed to do in the studio, and she's in there, you know, doing, you know, entanglements and things, and you finally get in contact with her, as you state here, it comes out your mouth. So why you didn't say, let's go? Because you said that your kids are going to be obedient to you, your kids are going to listen to you, and your kids are always going to call you. When you tell them to call you, or when you call, they're going to always pick up their phone. So if she's obedient to you, and you hear all these allegations, enough is enough, let's go. But then you say y'all flying back and forth, and, you know, and chilling with him, and in my opinion, things didn't go sour until he rejected y'all business deal. That's real talk. Real talk. I'm just keeping it 100.
Breathe of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of a bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out.
Listen, man. Look, I like Dana because he's loyal. But all that other shit, don't listen to that shit, man. That shit he be saying, I be saying, Dana, you crazy. Dana put out there he had a baby, Ashanti daughter.
Right.
Like you all of a sudden had all these babies by all these girls. That girl's 17 years old, just turned 17, so you got a baby by her? What are we talking about?
Who's 17? Jazzy?
Who's Jazzy? Which one is Jazzy? Turn that down.
That's Ashanti's daughter. You know, he said yesterday, he told me, because you know, I don't got nothing against Dana. You know, I just don't like some of the shit he do, man, and it don't rock with me. And like I explained to him, you know, Chicago rock a different vibe. Just because we don't do all the shit every motherfucker think we should do, that don't mean we don't still rock Chicago. You know, it ain't about Kev.
You see me, brother? I give any city that I'm the visitor and they're salute.
Yeah, and he said,
I ain't going to war with everybody.
Right. Hey, and let me tell you this, bro. He said, he said on his own, Rashonda ain't testified. Because I asked him, I said, Dana, so.
He don't know. Listen, Dana is not in that shit, bro. This is who I talk to, right? I talk to Curry, all of them. R.Kelly, man, that's how he fucked them 2 girls out. He was like, man, them girls ain't his fucking sisters. That's why people get their information. Like Dana, he like, man, Dana was best thing. That man wasn't around him. I around my brother every day. That man, I don't even know who the fuck that man is.
Mm-hmm.
He worked his way in as a best man. These dummies went for him.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, Charles like is a best man. He bring them in all the time and had them doing dummy shit, and that's how they get in. But they don't get into knowing shit and doing all this shit.
Right.
That shit a lot. Dana actor, man. So you gotta think of this. Dana's in a YouTube the other day. I'm quite sure you saw it.
Yeah.
And then he said, the federal judge said he was gonna let R.Kelly out. Now fucking judge ever even gave an increment like they was letting his ass out of jail.
Well, you know, I tell people Dana is like Donald Trump. He got to pump up his base. He got to pump his base up. And Dana, hey, I ain't got nothing against him, but I still speak my motherfucking mind, though. You know, because I had my run-in with him.
He was going up there. I said, Dana, stop thinking Chicago is weak.
Right. I tried to tell a man that.
Listen to this. Somebody's going to get tired of you. You're not from there. and all this bullshit in the city, and you got a lot of motherfucking mixed feelings going on up there. I said, yo, what's gonna happen? You gonna wind up in a beef. When you relax out at him, you know what Dana called? Call me up. 2 o'clock in the morning, tell us about it. Yo, you heard? I said, heard what? A nigga up there, yo, God, you asked me, yo, crazy fuck, we was just in Chicago together, blah, blah, blah. I said, thanks. I said, one of his homies or somebody probably said something to him, and he tired of him. I said, yo, you not from there. Who the fuck are you gonna get on and put on for R.Kelly and you ain't from the city?
Exactly. That's what I was trying to explain to dude.
I said, do you think them kids can come down to Baltimore and do that? And they ain't been in Atlanta so motherfucking long, I don't even know if he raised up in Baltimore now. And I know his family, but, you know, he been in Atlanta a long ass time from where I'm in.
Man, that dude, like I told dude, I said, dude, I don't have to watch Tasha K and all that. I got common sense to know that them ain't his motherfucking sister. They just pop up out the blue. I said, man, y'all stop playing with me, man. People just think you got to watch YouTube bloggers all the fucking time and not have common sense for yourself. That's why when I talk to you, some shit I watch, but some shit I analyze for my own motherfucking self, and I just speak from a real nigga perspective and just try to speak how I feel. And if motherfuckers can't honor that, that's on them, you know, but I'ma still stand where I stand. And wherever I stand, that's what it is. I tell motherfuckers, at first he was saying I was a clout tater. I said, dude, I ain't asked for this shit. I was doing some shit because I DJ. I rock Scale's music. I've been rocking with him from day one. We from Chicago. We know how the law works in Chicago. We know how these young thoughts is in Chicago. And we know how young girls like older guys like younger girls, young girls like dope dealers, niggas that got rims, all that. We grew up in that area, bro. And that's why, and there's no disrespect to your daughter, bro, but you got to understand, when a motherfucker got that bag, motherfucker just chasing that bag, and that's what Jocelyn did, and that's what Azriel did, but it came more than just that bag. You know what I'm saying? The man must have eventually started loving him. They must start loving him, and that hey, can't change what happened, man. We know the streets.
It's crazy, man. It's you know, it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot. And that's why I tell you, like, anytime I move, man, and I fuck with a lot of Migos in Chicago. That's really my forte. That's why I fuck with Worldwide. So, you know, that's they you know, it's a whole different level with them, with how I move and do shit. So when I'm sitting there telling him, and my man and them telling him, I'm like, yo, like, who is dude, you know, like, oh, niggas not gonna keep putting up with that. They Spanish niggas. Like, yo, they into, like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga? Yo, just keep coming like, yo, you know, get his ass chopped up. I'm like, I'm telling you. And I ain't think that shit a game. I'm like, yo, I know me. And I'm looking at me not being a struggle for Baltimore. If that shit kept going around, this by the third time, you gonna get your eye bust open, beat down.
Hey, man, when I had the listening party, I didn't even know it was a dude. I didn't even know it was a dude that had whooped Dana ass. I had to tell him yesterday. I said, Dana, my name is Wes. I don't be in no mess. Anything I do, my image, my character, motherfuckers know me. You know, I'm a straight shooter. I'm a real nigga. I'm an OG. You know, motherfuckers know me in the street. I could pick the phone up. And, man, motherfucker was even on my live when I was going hard on Dana. Like, dude, if you think you coming to Chicago to do a march and a kickback party, I'm going to kick your ass right back to Atlanta. All this was on my live. I ain't sugarcoat, ain't none of that. Because one thing I can't stand is a motherfucker to get in my motherfucking space and then acting like they all that and you fighting for a cause that you really ain't fighting for. So I started to think like, dude, is this all about you or is this about Kels? Because all that...
Think about it. So why would you be that much emotionally involved with Kel? Before Kel got knocked off, I've been to Chicago so many motherfucking times that chased my daughter. Before me and him got to the point where I ain't even want to get a chance to visit my daughter, none of that. I never seen that. You're not going to tell me you was around him. He tried to tell me he was in a courtroom. When I was in the courtroom with my daughter, I said, nigga, you know where I was sitting at? He was like, yo, I was sitting behind you. I said, Jane, you wasn't sitting no fucking behind me, bro. I was sitting at the row before last. And nigga, I remember all faces. My man, the Spanish dude stood up, and 6 motherfuckers behind me stood behind me. And I can name every last one of them motherfuckers now. And not now one of them motherfuckers was fat and look like you. Not one of them.
Right. Yeah.
They just motherfuckers
I mean, but I didn't know because we was talking about, I didn't know her name was Jazzy. I didn't even know she was 17. You know, I didn't know that shit.
I don't know if that's her name, man. That's not her.
Because he was just talking. I said Asante.
That's the one that he almost got the rape charge for. That's her name.
No, the one he got the
Chicago.
The girl, that's Jasmine. That's Jasmine. That's Jasmine.
Yeah, that's it. He call her Jazz for short. All of them call her Jazz for short.
No, but we talking about Ashanti's daughter. He called her Jazzy. He said Jazzy. I said, who is Jazzy? I said, that Ashanti daughter. He's like, yeah. So, you know,
crazy, man.
her daughter 17?
Yeah, she young.
So how the fuck he have a, that's why I said, how you have a baby by Ashanti daughter and Rashonda? Was this before?
Yeah, like that don't even matter. That's what I'm telling you. And Dana's not that old. Dana young. Dana young.
How old the fuck is he?
How would you know Rashonda? How would you know Rashonda? How would you be around?
Because he said we was little kids and we met at the movies or some shit and like, oh, you know Kels? Oh, I know Kels. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, listen. I just listen to this shit, man. I mean, like I tell a female in a minute, I play dumb, but I ain't dumb, motherfucker. You just can't tell me no anything. That because the motherfucker rocking don't mean they rolling.
When I say your shit, I laugh my ass off, bro. I said, this man going at. So now you have perspective who
and then you know motherfuckers talking about
and go on your platform and talk to you, whatever, brother. It is what it is, man. I'm straight as I is. And I don't have no problem answering nothing or facing nothing. You know what I mean? And I ain't a motherfucker who push no weight on nobody else, man.
Is Dana 42?
I don't know, bro. I'm telling you, when I listen, he made that video with me. And motherfucker did from Cowside again hit me up and said, yo, that nigga from your city. I said, what? I just took the picture, dropped that shit in my personal Facebook, and said, yo, I need to know who this is. And the next motherfucking hour, I got a couple hundred hours for motherfucker. That motherfucker said, bing, 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 bing. Said, yo, your man, such and such, no. I said, I called my man live in Cali now. I said, yo, who this kid is?
Who is who? Dana?
Yeah, and my man was like, yo, that's such and such. But yo, what's going on? I told him, he was like, yo, please give me 24 hours. Yo, let me be something else, blah, blah, blah. Yo, that nigga 12 hours he called. And Dana called. I'm telling you, by then the next day, I talked to his people and all that. He was like, yo, man, she got stalled. Like, yo,
now all of a sudden, y'all cousins. Y'all cousins.
I put that out there because I wanted to fuck up Kel's Nation. So I called him. I said, yeah, I went from my cousin last night.
Yeah.
He had no choice but to roll with it. Because I was like, yo, that's for that foul shit. Like, nigga, don't get out your face with everybody. Everybody ain't no sucker, yo. I'm not no motherfucking Tim Stanley. Like, yo, don't get on this motherfucking disrespecting no nigga. Yo, I don't do that. I'm not gonna get on. You know, I can see anybody say something to me, I'm gonna address either your DM, or then I'm gonna go back if I can't get you. I'm gonna go ahead back at your shit and let you know, nigga, you can call me out.
And then,
you can see me out.
Yeah,
I made her lifestyle good. I made sure bills were paid. I did everything from the joint. The same way he's doing it with everybody around. They can continue their lifestyle, but you gotta still stick by these rules. It was over stuff. That's what they thought.
Right.
Like, oh man, it had to be Kelly because they look at Kelly as this and that. Man, I looked at my daughter already in motherfucking star. In my eyes, only thing I needed her to do was hit this motherfucker one song with his name on that bitch and her to finish her album. That's it. I was shopping that shit straight from my little country. She was VP. She was gonna walk that bitch right in for a day. I ain't need nothing from him. That was my daughter's career. She would have said, Dad, I don't want to sing. Okay, we done. That's a good thing. I ain't got to lose no more money in that shit. That's it.
No, you just want her to make a song, huh?
Right. Like, if she had made her song and she got that fulfillment, like even now, like, nigga, you did anything with her. You gave her any fulfillment, I wouldn't even have been beefing as hard now, but you gave her no independence. Like, she still don't got shit.
Wow. So all this, so all this goes just about basically she's not doing what she's supposed to do, what she went in there supposed to do, and the shit went a whole nother way.
Whole nother way. I mean, for her, it's paradise. But what I'm thinking is, okay, well, he got his own mess shit before you was born, man. So now look at you. You have nothing. So this shit don't turn out exactly like it is. Yeah, you got a little story. You might get a little deal. It ain't gonna be much. You're gonna be fucked back up. And hopefully you still have your interest in singing. You still want to do something, or you ready to work.
So you think if she would have sat up there and went in there and did a song with R. Kelly, all this shit wouldn't have been going on with her being 17 and all that shit?
I don't think none of it would have really went on, because she would have got to fulfill her independence. They fell in love, whatever the fuck number is. Then, I mean, what can you beef about? I don't think none of it would have really went on, because she would have got to fulfill her independence. They fell in love, whatever the fuck number is. Then, I mean, what can you beef about? I don't think none of it would have really went on, because she would have got to fulfill her independence. They fell in love, whatever the fuck number is. Then, I mean, what can you beef about? But if your motherfucker just take your motherfucking door and don't do shit with them, and continue to do nothing for nothing with them, then really you lost all the way around. They lost, not you, but they lost all the way around.
And then now the 17-year-old shit, huh? I said now it's the 17-year-old shit, because she didn't do shit with him. It's the 17-year-old shit now, because she didn't do what she's supposed to do. She just...
No. Even if it should have never been that. What I'm saying is, she would have had more independence. At least you just looked at her more as a motherfucking piece of ass and got her song and this and that. Now I can understand her going to her independence, her sticking beside her man. She got her own career. You ain't got shit. So how the fuck you say you love these girls when neither one of them can do shit? And you end up fucked up with nothing. By the time all these fucking lawsuits hit, your royalties will be 10 years and old. You won't even get that. So now you got two girls that you can't do nothing but sit around with, and then you gotta take them to all that drained out. Ain't no nigga gonna do that. You ain't gonna watch your powder go and you ain't touching them, sleeping with them, none of that. But one, he got major insecurity. So he ain't gonna keep them girls away that motherfucker long until like you take care and you can't keep up with them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, people looking at everything like, okay, you're doing this, you're doing that. But guess what? I'm gonna have to be prepared to take care of a grown ass woman when she come out of this shit.
Well, see, hey, but you got to realize something too, man. You know, even though she didn't set out the mission, you know, you probably told her, say, hey, you know, when you go in there, be professional, be about business. But she got in there and shit went a whole nother route.
Exactly.
You know, and then I know that.
This is always what you carry yourself. You know, what's going on. We stay on that horn. You answer that phone. You know what I mean? We there. The same shit. We respect your scenery. This kind of thing, man. This what it is. I mean, we just had a bad business situation.
Wow.
But Joe could have made that shit, man. He could have faced me. We could have dealt with that shit. Fucking manned up about that shit. And it's in a different light.
So
at the end of the day, my daughter
still got the record done.
No, not at all. I don't approve shit. If I do over 17, that's a foul, bro. That's like a real violation, bro. I don't give a fuck about the fuck. Like, the fuck is what it is. That ain't gonna never go nowhere. Who violated my daughter? Like, if you had plans to keep her around, then nigga, keep her around till she of age. Then you could have you know, by that sweet talk, you're not gonna take advantage of her from the beginning and then say she loved me.
Lord Jesus. It's a telltale situation. I mean, probably like some of the parents, like, you could have been in this relationship and made something out of yourself. This man, you got in this man's life, he ain't did nothing for you. You ain't got a pot to piss in or window to throw it out. Only if he would have did this deal, we wouldn't have been so pissed off. All I needed was this deal so my daughter can blow up and be independent. But it didn't work out, so I am mad as hell because, see, now you in some trouble and she still can't get no money. So now we got to go another route and make sure that she go ahead and do what the feds want her to do so she can be in this RICO so she can get some money some kind of way, because I am pissed off. All I needed was a deal. All I needed was one little song. And if he gonna be with her, he could have been with her, but just made her rich, let her have her own money. And so then he's saying that now he ain't got nothing, and these women just gonna be sitting there and not wanting to be touched because he ain't got nothing to give them. And you know, just all that. Y'all heard it for yourself. I just wanted y'all to hear it for yourself. And Jesus Christ, the conversation with Tyson and Angelo, he didn't know he was being recorded at the time, so he was just speaking from the heart. So it is what it is. I took clips out of the conversation. I want to go back and hear it again, and I took key points out of it so, you know, I can remind y'all of what went down. And this what went down. And the jealousy is, and upset is real.
And the only thing y'all can live off is a nigga fucking name.
That's what y'all doing.
Shit. I have a bigger name now and a large legacy.
Because
so
of
understand this.
R.Kelly.
I don't live off no nigga name.
You're lying.
Anybody from motherfucking Baltimore tell you that. Any motherfucking body. Nigga, I makes my own legacy. The fuck I need a dick ride fucking R.Kelly for? Nigga, I got birth from motherfucking celebrities. Believe that one. Women in my motherfucking family probably fuck with you. But 10 women would look at you and laugh, bro. I mean, literally laugh. Cause nigga, whatever you can't score on that first date, when you popping your fake ass mink and playing your big dog role, nigga, you won't score. And with the ones I know, nigga, your dinner gonna be what you made that week. Going out with them gonna cost you. That's what real queens do. Real queens don't sit there and have a drink with your dumb ass and think that you're gonna get something. My daughter can stand up, say whatever the fuck she wants.
So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me. I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive. To me, R. Kelly did this to me, and if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Are you blaming this on social media?
I'm talking about the power of social media.
All these lies and setup is enough to send me to a general hospital. The lies, the lies, the lies, the lies. You hear it from the horse's mouth. Continue this fight for him. My opinion, my thoughts, my belief, RSK is fully innocent and he is the victim. Thanks everyone for tuning in. But I want to end it with this. You have a man to get 15 years for raping and killing his own child